Hi guys, another update. Last time I made a video I had just finished putting the first layer of ceramic fibre into my barrel of my forge. I ended the video there and said I was going to put in the second layer. I've now done that. I've also done a few other things after that. Didn't catch them on video in the process, but I shall swing the camera down and show you what I've done and what I intend to do next. This is the stage I'm at. I'll come on down to an appropriate level. And show you I've now got the couple of layers of rigidizer over my ceramic fibre. It's firmed it up. It's not as fibrous, of course it's still soft because it only soaks in a certain layer, probably 1/8 of an inch, 3mm, and so it's still soft underneath. This is the inside with my fire bricks in, cut out to take the shape to take the door opening. That has turned out reasonably well. There's a few pieces here where it's got bumped when I was testing putting my door in, closing my door up I should say, but I've given that good time to dry now, cleaned it up, swept it all out, so I'm going to be giving it a few more layers of rigidizer before I start using my ceramic fibre. I'll try and get you in there so you can see what's going on. There are my burner outlets at a pretty good depth through. That's 2 inches of ceramic fibre. Burners stick through probably 20mm, 18mm, something like that, so 3/4 of an inch or a bit more. Both of those come through about a similar amount, so once I put my layer, 1/4 inch probably, built up layer of refractory cement over that, that'll stiffen the whole thing up. I think it's a very good size. Should be able to do whatever I want to do in there. It's got quite a large opening at either end. I've test fitted my burner frame, so I'll go through that with you. I've decided I was going to, instead of welding that on, it's pretty dark down there but I think you might be able to see, I've put a couple of bolts through here so that it can be removed. If I have to do maintenance I can just undo, I can undo those 4 bolts, nuts, pull the bolts out and the whole frame will lift off. So that should be nice and easy to maintain. I had to bolt it on there to test fit it to make sure I got everything lined up at the right height, the right depth. Here's my burners set in with the grub screws there holding them in the right position, the U-brackets holding it tightly to my frame, my air chokes to allow for different oxygenating flames or neutral flames depending on what I need and how to get and the level I need to go to get the burners to burn at the right temperature. So they work really well. I'm very happy with those. Then if I come back around here, I've got another little stainless steel pipe, the same as these that I welded on over here. I've welded that onto there with grub screws on that, which holds my, it's just a little lid, which holds my thermocouple down in here, wired up. So that just sits into that little groove there to put the lid back on. That should work quite well. Get that off for now and put it down there. Try and do this one-handed, but As you can see, this extends out once that lid's on. Give me a second here. Once I get that back in the right position and put this lid on in the right way so it doesn't pop off. I won't be getting into there too often, it's only for maintenance. So I'll just grab this is my thermometer, digital thermometer, which you can probably all know everything you need to know about. Just a basic 2 plug, so I can get 2 different devices plugged into it. I've made this little bracket on there, so that just slides nice and snugly into there, protects it from dust and heat and damage, and then this swings around here and attaches into that. Excuse me, didn't give you a very good view there, but that just comes around there. I'll probably put a cable tie on that at some stage and secure that safely. I've got my gas pipes and everything purchased now, just waiting for my needle valves to turn up. They seem to be taking a very long time to come in the post, but everything else is ready to go, so I'm going to have needle valves on here. And I think I mentioned before, I'm going to have a pressure gauge on each one of those, so I can adjust the needle valve and see exactly what pressure I'm running through each burner. I may not need them both, so I can turn one off if I only want to do a localized heat down there on one burner. So I'm waiting for them to come up before I can fit everything, but this is a test fit anyway, so I'll be pulling it all off to do a final clean up and a paint. And of course that'll be after I finish doing my refractory cement. So I think I pointed out up in here, as well as my 2 burners over there, you can see just there, that's where my thermocouple sensor tip comes through the side of the barrel. So it goes in down there, comes out on the inside there, so that should be enough, and that's bendable, so that I can make sure that if needed, I can twist it out a little bit to point into the area that I need, or probably be able to just get enough refractory in behind there, because there's a good inch or so once I, like I say, twist her out to where I want it, and then that should be able to give me a good temperature, so I know where I'm at with heating, far enough away from the burners and the direction of the burners, I feel, to be not getting overheated directly by the burners. Most of the temperature from those burners will be down here on the base rather than up here in the corner, if you can have a corner in a round barrel. I think she's coming along pretty well. Not a lot else to tell you, other than possibly that I am considering putting in this piece of plate here, piece of thin plate. I think I might be going to weld that to the underneath of there. Whoops. Like about that. I know it's lower than the actual layer of the bricks, but it's only 1/2 inch or so. So if I need to have anything resting on there, I can just put something down, 1/2 inch strip or something to have it at the right height. Okay, so that's pretty well it for this update. As I say, some more rigidizer, then refractory cement, then I've got some 540 degrees Celsius high temp paint, which I'll paint it with. There's no way the temperature's ever going to get up to that on the outside, but it was only a few dollars extra to get 540 degrees rather than 120 degrees. So I spent the extra couple of bucks on each can. Okay, talk to you next time. Bye.